it sounds from everything you've said that America needs to do slightly more in this region than it is doing so far.
I think, first, I would try to move on trade. You can't do an FTA, but you do want to move forward on trade, even despite the Democratic Party roots. Secondly, to develop the relationship with China, because if that relationship is sour, it's much harder for every other country in the region. Thirdly, don't stop with China. Also cultivate your other friends in the region and allies. And I think the second part Biden is trying to do, it's a long journey, but he's starting. The friends and allies, his approach is quite clear, and I think people do believe that. The last thing he can do is to ensure the president after 2024, whichever party of like mind.
That is sadly not in his...
It's not within his giving, but that is something which is very important. You must be able to look beyond, because America's interests extend well beyond 2024.
One last question on that is Taiwan. How much should we worry about what is going to happen there?
I think we should be concerned. I don't think it's going to war overnight, but this is a situation where you can have a mishap or a miscalculation and be in a very delicate situation. The leaders, the countries all say the right things. In this virtual summit this morning, Joe Biden said, well, the U.S. will uphold its one China policy, and he also talked about the Taiwan Relations Act, which is long-standing. Xi Jinping said, we are not in a hurry to solve the cross-straits problem. Yes. It's a code word, but everybody knows what he means. And in Taiwan, Dr. Tsai Ing-wen says, we ask everybody to maintain the status quo. So everybody says the right thing. But if you look at what is happening, it is not a static situation. The U.S. has significantly increased the visibility, the level, and the intensity of engagements, diplomatic engagements, even military engagements with Taiwan. China has been testing Taiwan's air defenses. It flies aeroplanes into Taiwan's air defense identification zone almost daily. It doesn't intrude into its sovereign airspace or its immediate airspace, but it's testing Taiwan's defenses and tightening up on international space, which was prepared to concede Taiwan even 5 or 7 years ago. And on the part of Taiwan, this DPP administration has disavowed the 92 consensus, which was to each his own interpretation, and it says, no, that's not an acceptable formulation. And taking other steps, for example, printing on their passports in English, Taiwan passport. So all these moves raise suspicions and tensions and anxieties and make it more likely that a mishap or miscalculation can happen.